All right, Shalom, Shalom. Uh, this is Big Millstone Chicago branch, and the brothers Mashaba joined by,
Yasharalaba.
and we coming back at you with another lesson. First, before we get into it, we'd like to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakadash.
the second thing we want to do is give double honors to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers that are pushing this truth with both sincerity and with charity. All right, so what we're gonna get into is about the declined state of Babylon. All right, and it's very apparent to literally anybody that lives in the country. All right, whether they in this truth or not. All right, whether they dumb or stupid. Well, I'm just like I mean dumb or smart, whatever you want to call it. Everybody can tell that America is falling to pieces. All right, one of the most face value signs right now is the gas prices. All right, rising and continuing to rise because Babylon wanted to go to war with Iran and assist these fake Jews. Okay, and the thing is, even if they end this war, the gas price is still gonna take uh, hella long to come back down. So this place is you know uh, it's doomed regardless, man. All right, the gas is just a small thing. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12:2. Or the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, or the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the sheet when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So yeah, this is gonna, get a whole lot worse. People not even gonna want to go to work anymore. Not only because of that, not only because of gas, because of just plain inflation. The price of basic living is gonna go up exponentially. All right, I can see gas going to six fifty or $7. By the end of this year. All right, normal gas. All right, and that premium gas might be $10 by the end of the year. All right, things are gonna get very hectic when people can't even afford gas to get to work. All right, when people with cars are forced to take public transportation because of the price of gas. All right. Let me read this. This is well, actually, can you read Revelation 11 and 18?
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come in the time of the dead, that shall be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Man. So, and these nations are going to start to turn on America itself. All right, the head honcho. All right, I think America refused to give Britain and some of its other allies oil because of what's going on, man. All right, and it's not just America being affected by the war in Iran. It's the entire planet. All right, so these America's Babylon's allies are gonna get more and more fed up, man, and start to be like, nah, man. All right, we're not going for this anymore. All right, things are gonna start to turn around on Babylon real fast. All right, and I'm actually thankful for Donald Trump being the president because he's hastening a prophecy. All right, Yahweh Ratazar. Okay, It's a lot of stuff that he's doing that, we see as men of the Lord that's hastening the prophecy, man. He's hastening World War III. Okay.
Calm, man, because these people, what we was done talking?
Yeah.
These people are already turning on him, man. They at the beach, when people get together and they make words out of, their just body figure, saying we don't want this motherfucker in the office. Wasn't that like a year ago where they raided the White House? Or some months ago?
You talking about raided the White House?
I believe
a year ago?
It was.
I was like, Trump did do that with a whole lot of people, but I was like,
Well, that was his last term.
Nah, that was I think when Joe Biden was in office, he did that, but that was like a whole.
Oh, Trump did that.
Yes, that was a very long time ago. That was like 3-4 years ago.
Well, still, man. These people are already, coming against their leader, man. They doing certain shit. That nigga that tried to assassinate Trump. They already, turning against America. People are already seeing, what Trump is doing, man. Like the brother was saying, he's speeding up the prophecies, man.
Were you done speaking?
Yeah. Matthew.
I was trying to look for a precept where this is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And that's what's going on right now in America. All right, and I'm not just talking about that the people that were against Donald Trump being in office from the get go. I'm talking about these what's the name Republicans too.
Yeah.
Right, they're starting to get affected. Everybody's getting affected by Donald Trump's actions, man. All right, and soon everybody's gonna have enough of this just wicked ruler. Okay, these wicked people are gonna have enough of the wicked king. All right, because he messing everything up. All right, but that's what we want to happen. All right, we want that second Edris. What is it? Hold on, Salaki. This is a second Edris 15. I'm gonna start at dang. I could really read the whole chapter, but let me start at verse 4. Second Edris 15 and 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cries unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Alright, and that's the souls that are complaining are the elect. Alright? The 1/3. Okay, and we can see that these wicked works have changed the earth. Everybody knows, the earth is polluted, man. I think I searched up, by what year will global warming be an extreme problem? Okay, and it said 2030, man. All right, that's 4 years from now. When global warming will start to be an extreme problem, a problem, man. All right, 4 years from no, y'all write this out. We still not here, but 4 years from now, man. Okay, and it's I think it said, when it'll damn near be the end of the world, and it'll be completely uncontrollable. 2050. but 2030s is when it's gonna be an extreme problem. All right, Esau has to go. All right, this place needs a fixing, man. The Lord, Yahweh Shai needs to come back and fix this place. All right, but prophecy has to happen. Okay, but you know, this is kind of jumping down to verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So yeah, motherfuckers not gonna care about the police. They're not gonna care about getting caught. It's gonna get bad out here because of Donald Trump. Stuff is gonna get what's the word? Apocalyptic. All right.
Shit, that's if the police not with them, man. Cause there's certain different, big big security industries that's going on strike right now, man.
Comment and you gotta remember, police officers are normal people too. At the end of the day, they go back home to their families. They gotta worry about feeding them too. They gotta worry about gas, and things like that. What's to say that the own police won't quit their job, man? That's cool. You won't be able to call on the police because there is no police. Okay. The only police out here is going to be some elite task force, to stop you from, getting to the next town over if you don't got the MOTB. That's gonna be the only police out here, man. All right, but you was about to say something?
Yeah, because I was about to say, because you already hear, some of them already saying, I don't get paid enough for this shit. They'll let certain stuff go because they genuinely feel like they don't get paid enough to deal with it. So imagine when, the prices of basic living is going up, they're going to quit. Not only are they going to quit, they're going to start rioting like everybody else is, man.
Right, cause they got to find a way to feed their own families too. You had could you read that, Matthew?
Yeah, this is Matthew 24, verse 6. Yet ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for these things all must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, man? And, we see those prophecies coming to pass right now, man. The war that's currently going on. Like we was talking about, the famines in certain places. Esau's ruling right now, so, all form of life is mourning right now. Over there in Antarctica, the polar bears, caused by global warming, or that's what they say. It's life forms that are going extinct because, Esau is changing the natural way of the earth, man. He's spraying chemtrails everywhere, and it's just, messing up the natural cycle of the earth, man. Right. And that's why this man has to be put to death. Because if we let his wickedness keep growing, the whole earth would just die out.
He gonna be put in slavery first. But you had any last precepts? Man, so man, the Babylon is declining from the inside out. Alright, the whole world is starting to get messed up just from what America is doing. Alright, and the whole world is getting messed up from what all these nations are doing, as in the environment. Alright, so but Yahweh Shai gotta come back and save this place, man, because it's just literally headed for destruction. You can just search it up. Alright. But we hope this lesson was edifying. With that, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodas.
Second thing we want to do is give double honors to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers that are pushing the truth with both sincerity and with charity. Shalom, wa Kwame Nasrallah, wa Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.